How you doing? Bob Santucci from HealdsburgRealEstate.com. We're out on Sweetwater Springs Road today, and we're going to talk about septic systems. Why are we doing it out here? Well, this is a geological area that is just known for either being water scarce or water abundant. And with that sometimes comes septic or well issues, groundwater issues. And today is the 30th of March. We've had an extremely dry winter, and it's rained a lot in the last couple of weeks. And with that, the county of Sonoma has opened up groundwater testing for private disposal systems, septic systems. So today we've got going out to 5235 Sweetwater Springs Road to meet my environmental engineer that is drilling test holes. The test holes are going down about 8 or 10 feet, and he's inserting corrugated pipes, and those corrugated pipes have a sleeve over them. And tomorrow he'll come back and he'll be measuring to see how high the water comes up in those. We're hoping that there isn't a lot. If a lot of water comes up, then the problem is that the leach field for the septic system would be compromised with that groundwater coming up through it. So it's a way that we check. So that's kind of the part where the groundwater testing or wet weather testing comes in. Let's talk real briefly about septic systems in general. Private disposal systems or septic systems come in a few different styles. There's a standard system, and there is a pressure distribution system, and there's also some new ones where they use coils and coils and coils of pipe to go ahead and distribute the treated wastewater into the soil. For septic systems, the way they work basically is you've got the pipe coming out of the house going into about a 1,500 gallon concrete tank. Those concrete tanks have a baffle in the middle, and your solid waste goes into the first chamber. It breaks down, and when there's enough clear liquid coming over the top of that baffle into the secondary chamber, it settles and it kind of clarifies. It then goes out into the leach field. That's the pipe that comes out of the 1,500 gallon tank, concrete tank, and it goes into the leach field. The leach field are pipes that are, I don't know, 80 feet long or so. It depends on how many bedrooms you're going to have. That's how they measure septic systems, is by how many bedrooms you have. Not bathrooms, bedrooms. They're figuring how many people are going to be sleeping in a bedroom is how they come up with that number. So it goes out into the leach field and it percolates through these pipes that are buried about 1 foot, 2 feet down. And that's what we're out here checking today, to find out if rainwater or groundwater is going to come up and compromise those systems. How do we go ahead and determine where septic systems go? We go out and we dig large holes, and we use a backhoe. These holes are about 24 inches wide or so, and about 6 or 8 feet down. Environmental engineer or geologist goes down in and they look at the profile of the hole, and when they're looking at it, what they're looking for is layers of clay, because if you do septic there, the water won't go through the clay, it'll just stand, and that isn't going to work. And then also they're looking to see if there's too much rock. What we're looking for ultimately would be about 6 feet of topsoil and a little bit of rock underneath. So we're going to go down a little bit and not compromise the groundwater that's underneath it, or the aquifer that's holding our well water. We want to keep those two separate. So I hope that's giving you some information. If I've left out anything and you're a diagram person, go to the County of Sonoma's website, the Permit and Resource Department, otherwise known, you could Google PRMD, Sonoma County PRMD. And on that you'll find diagrams of how to build these systems and everything else. If you need to, you can reach me at 707-888-9115. I am a country property specialist, and I'd love to be able to help you. I've got several engineers that I've been working with for a long time, and they're just the best of the best out there. So with all that said, let's go on up to the test site and see what they've got going. I think that they've already installed a couple of these pipes. Let's go see what they're doing, all right? Looks like my environmental engineer has already been here, Frank Dono. Great guy, highly recommend him. Let's go out here in the field and see what he's done. What we have here is a series of test holes. Some of these are going to be, I think they went to get a tractor so they could do a bunch more really deep. The concern here is that we're located next to streams, so we have 150-foot setbacks. And then also, part of the perk test is this is the groundwater test portion of the test. So what they do is they come out here and they dig a series of these holes everywhere. And this is one of the standpipes here. Notice the stalk around it. That's PVC pipe with perforations in it. And then what they do is go down about 8 feet. And then tomorrow they'll come back and they'll measure, and everyone with one of these flags, there's going to be one of these holes. And what happens is they want to make sure that the groundwater's not coming up into the leach field. You see, that'd be terrible. So we're going to go down the road. We're going to look at a couple other systems. This is a large area out on Sweetwater Springs. Hey, I'm kind of looking around to make sure no pigs are coming up behind me, because this is all wild boar rootings that we're seeing out here. And so this is a typical site that I deal with. This is, if you ever try to reach me and I say I'm out in the field, I really am out in the field. So anyway, for HealdsburgRealEstate.com, we're going to be following up in a couple of minutes down the road. Thank you.